This is another pyramid. This how you go after Shantinathji temple. We go this way. There are pillars, there are votive pillars, the manstams on the way, and we reach this temple. And this temple has very beautifully carving over here. You cannot feel that how many images have been imbibed in this particular plaque, in this particular piece. We start from here. There is a Dhyan Mudra position on top. Then we come here. On the left side, we also have many Jin Mata and Jin Pita images here. So here is a couple, Jin Pita and Jin Mata, holding child in the hand. So many temples have these. Then we have Dhyan Mudra position. Then we have two Kayotsarg Jin standing there. And down below, again we have Navagraha. And then we have Ganga and Jamuna, which are here. Then this is Kshetrapal. And this is a Singhasan with a lion Singhasan. Then this is Ashta Pratihar. As I said, the parasol. Then Dondobhi, the elephants throwing water. Then this is a drummer, trumpet beating, announcement for the Tirthankar has arrived. And then these are the creepers, these are the Ashoka representing Ashoka tree which is there. And this we can see. So many things which have been embellished together. This is the Jin Mata Pita. We can see. There are many figures of Jin Mata and Pita in the complex. And the mukut, they are wearing the mukut that shows the royalty. They are, the Kirit mukut. They are there. Next, please. This is a close-up. We can see. And this I wanted to show you that again the Kukkud, how the artist has used this snake in this particular form to make the three chhatra with the snake here. Two Kayotsar postures. This is again Parshnaji standing there. And here is Padmavati who is holding this snake. Can you see this snake mouth and the fangs coming out here? And she's holding this snake at the back. And she's sitting also on this snake. Next, please. They're all very small figures. This is a Kshetrapal. Then this is a temple adjacent to it. It's called Bahubali temple. Inside it's Tritirthi. There are three figures inside. And Bahubali is also there. And this is again Navagraha. Lakshmi ji is broken. Saraswati is here. And this is Ganga, this is Jamuna, and same images. Here there is elephant in a different face, facing the other side. This is Saraswati, which is on the top. This is Makar here, and this is Kurm, which is slightly broken and all. Very beautifully creepers, the nature, the human life, and the animal world. They are all imbibed in a very close-knit, harmonious manner in this. You can see here the creepers also, which have been used for the embellishment. These are the slabs which have been put subsequently after making the temple. So most of the time temples from within are very simple, but from outside they are very exquisitely decorated. Next, please. This is another temple which houses Parshnath and then Jin Mata with the Swapn. I'll be showing you another Jin Mata. And inside the temple we have Rishabhnath ji, Lord Mahavir, Lord Parshnath ji figures in Dhyan Mudra. Inside is also Toran, which has Kiritmukh or the Kichak inside, and which has intervals have been given with the temple bells. It's a very beautiful image of Yakshis, and 24 Jin Mata also has been shown. These are Parshnathjis. And why I wanted to share this with you. Now here the artist how he has used the snake curls, the coils, up to the knee, a little above, to show the control over the snake here. Here again you can see the Dharnendra Nagaraj, how differently the hood has been made, the parasol has been made, so differently here. And sitting posture also, they are Dhyan Mudra. It gives the impression as if it is of the earlier period. It's not the later period, but earlier period. We also feel that some of the images were in a different temple and subsequently they have been added into a different temple. Then this and this, both are in a different way, hood, and very intricately made. Hairstyle, many a times we find a different hairstyle, and each of the Tirthankar, when they took the Diksha, they had the Panch Mushti, Lunchan, kesh removal, hair removal. And except for Adinaji, who had only one, on the request of the Indra, he left one side of the hair. So we will see how those hair have been used by the artist to show into the iconography. Again, the pedestals, the thrones are in a different way. Next, please. Tri Shashti Shalaka Purush Charit refers that a mother of Lord Parshvanath saw a dream before his birth that one snake is lying next to her in the Parshv, in the side. And when Parshvanath was born, so that's how the name was called, the name was kept Parshvanath. And this is the story. Here, the artistic utilization of the snake or the lanchan has been used. Sometimes coiled snake is also shown as a lanchan, but when the hood is there, we can immediately identify that who is this. He heard of Tyag and Sadhana of Neminaji and other Tirthankars at the age of 30, and the deep desire of Vairag came into his mind, and he wanted to take Diksha. But he took the permission, and then after the permission, he left for his sadhana. So 1 year of sadhana, then he found the Kaivalya, and while meditating, his earlier enemy, as I had discussed with you, was troubling him. So that's the whole story. That's how the snake is always shown next to him. See, this is another type of thing. Next, please. This is the Jinmata. Then 24 Tirthankar images are there. And this is elephant and a lion are there. This is a Kshetrapal who is sitting. A woman attendant putting alta, the red color, in the feet, which is shown. And sorry, this is, I wanted to compare, I wanted to show you. This is in the this one, please. This is in Dashavatar, Anantashai Vishnu, which I showed you earlier. Typical Gupta temple, which is very popular. And the same stance of the mother has been shown, keeping the foot, keeping the hand, and artist must have been common. This is hardly a distance. If you come down from the hillock, and then this Dashavatar temple is there. Very finely adorned with the richly ornaments. The mukut shows the royalty, shows she's a queen, she's the mother, and you can see the beautiful jewelry ornamentation which has been done, legs, feet, and all other places. Eyes are open, very relaxed, reclined way how she's sitting, and maybe so well composed in the company of 24 Tirthankars. Next, please. This is the Adinathji or Rishabhnathji. This picture credit goes to again Klaus Brun. I have taken from his book, and to show the hairstyle. This was in this temple earlier. Maybe after the restoration, this part has changed, and even the hair have become slightly different. So, Rishabhnathji's father was Nabhi and mother was Marudevi, who saw a bull in her dream. Unlike Mahavirji, whose mother saw other dreams, but she saw bull in the dream, so named him Rishabh. Bull is also the lanchan, and also had the Shrivat symbol. The local person who was showing us around very interestingly told me that Rishabhnath ji or Adinath ji is also Shiva. He is always meditating in the same way, the Lat are in the same style, and he also has a bull always with him. So this is the local manyata of the people. So this is how they look at it. This is a Tritirthi which is there. This is a very small shrine. You can just enter, with the lowering your head, and then you can see. Eyeballs are not visible. On the suggestion of Indra, he married Sunanda and Sumangala and had 100 children. Bahubali and Sundari from Sunanda, and 96 other children, and Bharat Chakravarti and Brahmi from Sumangala. He was a very good social reformer, Samaj Vyavasthapak. He made provinces, he made cities, he made boundaries. He gave a new outlook to the society altogether, what the societal aspirations would be. Adinath ji established all those social order in the society. He made principalities. He was very well versed with the arts, Asi, Krishi, Shilpi, all these things he started, he created, and he ruled for a very, very long time. Then Indra realized that in his all this Vyavastha, he is forgetting that he has come for a different aim altogether. He has come to establish Jain Dharma. He has not come only to establish the society. So there was a dancer who had become very old, Nilanjala. Indra brought Nilanjala with him and asked Nilanjala to dance in front of Adinath ji. Since he was the first Tirthankar, he is also called Adinath ji. So when Nilanjala was dancing, she suddenly collapsed and vanished. She died. And there was a gap, interval for a few seconds. Indra immediately created another dancer and she started dancing. But that interim period gave vairag to Rishabh ji that how transitory, कितनी लाइफ जो है वो कितनी अस्थिर है कि एक सेकंड में वो गायब हो गई. And he immediately went to Nabhi, his father, and he said, I want to take Diksha, and he went, immediate, feeling of leaving, and went for Tyag and Sadhana. And he did, when he didn't do the Panch Mushti Lunchan, he did only, Indra requested in fact, that you leave one part of hair, you don't cut all. And he took that part of hair which he had taken out, Indra took with him. So this is how, he has been shown, and this is how he got the Kaivalya afterwards. His very beautiful Dhyan Mudra, very mohak, बहुत ही खूबसूरत, very nice, slender figure, very well, carved stone, very well measured body parts. Every part is very well measured. There is no, you cannot say that this part is not, in accordance with the measurements. Double throne, double carpet, which have been shown. A halo or the Prabha Mandal has been shown at the back, which is also a part of the Ashtapratihara. Next, please. Then Tritirthi, having three images of Tirthankar together was very common. So these are some of the Tritirthi, and this is again with the hair, Rishabhnath ji. You can see the bull Lanchan here. And this is the Parshnath ji, you can see this coiled snake here. So very beautifully carved Tritirthi. I am not talking much of it because I want to cut on the time. Next please. Then this is again Tritirthi, the same one. And this Tritirthi I want to show you, that Saraswati ji is here with the Tirthankar. That shows, that gives the importance that Devgarh was not only a place where the temples were made, Devgarh was not the place where images were made. Devgarh was also a place of education, training, learning, and Jain Dharma to be propagated. Many people, many teachers were coming, Upadhyaya were coming, Acharya were coming, and Sadhu Sadhvis were coming. Lot of Tark and Vitark and Shastrarth, Vyakhyan was taking place. So this shows the importance of Saraswat region that how Saraswati was given a place along with the Tirthankars. And this is a Gomukh Yaksh which is there, and this is a throne of Mahavir Ji which was in another temple and has been brought in this temple now, Gomukh, and then this is Chakreshwari which is there. This is Kshetrapal. Next please. This is Panch Parmeshti, or when Panch Parmeshti are which is where Siddh, Arhat, Acharya, Upadhyay and Sadhu, 5 are there. And Pichika, you can see there's a Pichika and then Shastrarth is going on. Hand is in a Tark Mudra. Sometimes they are holding the book in the hand. And then there Yakshi and Yakshi, this is Ambika here who is sitting. And this temple also comprises of other standing postures. They are Chaubisi sometimes, they are different. So here we can see how Shastrarth, and this was a part of the system. Then this is temple 41 which is very important. Mostly there are Acharya, Upadhyay and Jin who have been shown here. Down below you can see the Sadhvis or the Shravikas are there who are busy in the ashram activities in a very Shraddha Purvak, folded hands. Both the places, down also, here also. And there is a one Upadhyay who is questioning, who wants to know something. He is showing the jigyasa. He wants to know something. He क्या बताया आपने और बताइए हमको आगे. The Tirthankar, the Tirthi is standing there. This is a big figure, is always of Acharya. How we will identify, how we will decide who is Acharya and Upadhyay. So Acharya are big figures, and then Upadhyay who are learners, who are in a small figures holding a book in the hand, and then there are other people also with the Shraddha and the folded hands. They are standing there. And there is a Mayur Pichika in the hand of one person. Mayur Pichika is always to clean the place, always carried by them. So this is something very important. There are many Acharya Upadhyay figures. As I said, it was very, very important. There are almost 50 such figures which are in the surroundings. This is Neminaji. I just briefly want to touch upon. Neminaji's father was he was Harivanshi and his name was Samudra Vijay, and mother was Shiva Devi, and they were in Dwaravati. And it is said that the cousins were Krishna and Balram. So in this, there are many pictures with a mukut, Krishna and Balram. So Krishna will be with Chakra and Balram will be with the Gada. So they were the cousins, and on the request of Krishna and Rukmani, Neminaji didn't want to marry. So they requested, no, you should marry. So he agreed for the marrying. And when he was going in the procession on the way, he saw many elephants, many animals which were caged, which were kept there. बांध के रखे हुए थे. उन्होंने पूछा ये किस लिए रखे हैं जानवर? तो उन्होंने कहा जो बैंक्वेट होगा शादी का, जो विवाह का भोजन है, उसमें इनको काटा जाएगा. So that gave him the vairag. Immediate vairag, he declined. He said मैं शादी भी नहीं कर रहा हूँ. और immediately he said इनको खाली छोड़ो, इनको free छोड़ो. और सब जानवरों को free कराया, and he went into his own tapasya. Again, this is Chakreshwari, or she is the Yakshi of Rishabhnath Ji. It reflects the syncretism of Vaishnava. She is also called Vaishnavi because of Garud. Different posture of Garud. You can see both. They are both Chakreshwari. Different postures of Garud here. And then she has Chakra, very dominating figure, very nicely carved figure. Vishanti Bhuja Chakreshwari is kept in the museum. Earlier she was in one of the temple. And she's now both the statues are in Sahujan Jain. You can see the back chakra has been shown here, how she is holding the chakra. This is different way. And next please, the side one. And Ketak and Bharat Mudra, and this is another way of holding the chakra. This is another way. Talwar, sword is there. So there are different armors which she is holding all the time. Next please. I want to talk a little bit about Bahubali. Very impressed with Bahubali because in this human form, as a sadhak, he has been given a position with the Tirthankars. And he was the first sadhak of this earth. The son of Rishabhnath ji occupies a very specially venerated place in Jain culture. When Rishabhnath ji distributed the kingdom, he gave it to Bharat Chakravarti, his first son. Bharat Chakravarti had to win through the chakra 6 continents. So he went and 5 continents he won. जब वो लौट कर आ रहे थे, अपने ही राज्य में घुसने से पहले उनका चक्र गया ही नहीं, रुक गया. उनको लगा मैंने 5 कॉन्टिनेंट्स जीत लिए हैं, तो मेरे ही राज्य में क्यों चक्र रुक गया आकर. तो देन ही रियलाइज दैट ही हैज नॉट वन हिज ओन फैमिली. अभी मैंने बाहुबली को नहीं विन किया, अपने और भाइयों को विन नहीं कराए. तो उन्होंने कहा हम वॉर करेंगे. बाहुबली ने एग्री किया कि ठीक है हम वॉर करेंगे, लेकिन हम आर्मी के संग वॉर नहीं करेंगे, क्योंकि नरसंहार हो ये मुझे पसंद नहीं है. तो हम ड्वेल करेंगे, हम दोनों अकेले युद्ध करेंगे, मल्ल युद्ध करेंगे, आंख से देखकर युद्ध करेंगे कि कौन जीतता है. तो मल्ल युद्ध में भी आंख के युद्ध में भी वो जीत गए. और जब मल्ल युद्ध में उनको नीचे फेंकने वाले थे, बाहुबली को पता नहीं चला, लेकिन भरत ने अपने चक्र को, जो उनका काल चक्र था, अपने आयुधशाला से मंगा लिया. बाहुबली ने उनको नीचे छोड़ दिया और उनको बहुत दुख हुआ कि मेरा भाई मुझसे चीटिंग से वॉर कर रहा है, चीटिंग से जीतना चाह रहा है. और उन्होंने उसी वक्त संन्यास ले लिया और 1 साल तक कायोत्सर्ग स्टैंडिंग पोजीशन में खड़े रहे. कहते हैं मेडिटेशन की, तपस्या की, साधना की और शरीर से रिनंसिएशन की. सबसे बड़ी हाईएस्ट स्टेट है कायोत्सर्ग. बिल्कुल बॉडी में जैसे कुछ फील ही नहीं हो रहा है. जो ये हम देख रहे हैं वल्लरियां जो इनके चिपकी हुई हैं, ये 1 साल तपस्या करते करते लताएं वल्लरियां उनके बॉडी पे क्रीपर्स चढ़ गई. और उन क्रीपर्स में, वो वाली नेक्स्ट वाली प्लीज, क्रीपर्स के साथ में सांप और बिच्छू भी उनके ऊपर और कई और इंसेक्ट्स चढ़ गए. ये सांप देख रहे हो, सांप ने उनको बांध लिया है. ये बिच्छू है नीचे, ये छोटे छोटे बिच्छू हैं, ये बिच्छू है, ये सांप का मुंह है, सांप ने भी उनको बांध लिया. तो कहते हैं कि बाहुबली की तपस्या बहुत ज़्यादा थी और उनको बहुत ज़्यादा इसकी इम्पोर्टेंस दी है. नेक्स्ट प्लीज. दिस इज अगेन त्रितीर्थी कि तीर्थांकरों के साथ में बाहुबली को खड़ा किया है कि मतलब उनकी भी इम्पोर्टेंस कुछ कम नहीं है. अगेन बाहुबली कैन ऑलवेज भी रिकॉग्नाइज, कभी आपको दिक्कत नहीं होगी, क्रीपर्स के साथ में पहचाने जाते हैं. और ये भरत मुनि हैं, भरत चक्रवर्ती हैं. ये 9 घट हैं, 9 घड़े हैं जो उन्होंने 9 घट और 14 रतन छोड़ दिए थे अपने, जब उन्होंने अपना चक्रवर्ती पद छोड़ा. और उसको छोड़ने के लिए उन्होंने नवनिधि और नवघट, ये कुबेर उनका सिंबल है. यहाँ भी कुबेर बैठा हुआ है कि उन्होंने अपना पूरा राजपाट सब उन्होंने त्याग दिया संन्यास में जाने के लिए. दोनों का बहुत नाम है. और भरत मुनि की 5 और बाहुबली की 6 मूर्तियाँ देवगढ़ में हमको देखने को मिलती हैं, जो अनलाइक खजुराहो, चंदेरी या और किसी स्थान में इतनी नहीं मिलती हमको. ये कुछ मैं आपको ऐसी जल्दी से दिखाना चाहती हूँ. उसको 24 कहते हैं. 14 चाहे स्टैंडिंग या ध्यान मुद्रा में आइकॉन्स रहते हैं और 24 इसको बोलते हैं. 24 जिनों की एक साथ में पट पर, एक ही परिकर पर होती है. और ये 4 क्लासेस ऑफ देवता हैं. भूमिगामी, और जो ऊपर आकाश में रहने वाले हैं, जो स्वर्ग में रहने वाले हैं. और इसको हम कहते हैं सर्वतोभद्रिका, या चारों तरफ से चौमुखी, चारों तरफ से देखने के, सब तरफ से वो देख के ब्लेस कर रहे हैं. तो कभी कभी इनमें 3 साइड में तो जिन होते हैं, ये जैसे पार्श्वनाथ जी हैं, और एक साइड में उपाध्याय बनाए गए हैं. नेक्स्ट. ये वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग फिगर्स ऑफ लक्ष्मी एंड सरस्वती. ये ऋषभनाथ जी के टेम्पल में है. इनकी कहानी इसलिए इम्पोर्टेंट है हमें, लक्ष्मी और सरस्वती के लिए तो पता ही है, प्रॉस्पेरिटी की, और श्री देवी भी कहते हैं, वेल्थ और हेल्थ सब देने वाली हैं. सरस्वती विद्या दान करने वाली हैं, विद्या देती हैं, और म्यूजिक और आर्ट की देवी मानी जाती हैं. ये 2 फिगर्स, क्योंकि इनके पेडिस्टल मिसिंग हैं, ये इनके ऊपर ट्रैफिकिंग वालों की बहुत नज़र रहती है. 2013 में ये इतनी बड़ी 5 फुट की मूर्तियां हैं, दोनों चोरी हो गई थी और ये इटावा के पास में पकड़ी गई, वहां पर मिली और लाकर इनको दोबारा लगाया गया। तब से देवगढ़ में मंदिरों की रक्षा बढ़ गई है और हर वक्त 24 आवर्स पुलिस जो है यहाँ पर तैनात रहती है इनको देखने के लिए। बहुत ब्यूटीफुल कार्व्ड है, हाथ टूटे हुए हैं, नहीं तो हाथ में कभी कभी पुस्तक रहती है, 4 हाथ की 2 हाथ की सरस्वती दिखाई गई है और ये लक्ष्मी जी के हाथ में कमल का फूल है। नेक्स्ट प्लीज। उसी परिकर पर तीर्थंकर भी बने हुए हैं। संवत्सरण टेम्पल है ये, प्लेस ऑफ फर्स्ट सर्मन वेयर देवता ह्यूमन एंड एनिमल्स अटेंड डिवॉइड ऑफ ऑल एनिमोसिटी। सब पहला जो होता है वो सब सुनते हैं, ये उसके अंदर का दृश्य है। नेक्स्ट प्लीज। ये छोटे श्राइन्स हैं, ये बहुत ही छोटा श्राइन है जो हमको डबल स्टोरी से दिखाई पड़ रहा था, कॉम्प्लेक्स शांतिनाथ जी वाला। ये टेम्पल नंबर 1 है, इसमें बहुत सारी मूर्तियां थी, अब जब हटा के कहीं और रख दी गई हैं, कुछ म्यूजियम में चली गई हैं। ये कुछ उसका कॉम्प्लेक्स की फीलिंग लेने के लिए मैंने सोचा आपको ये हम दिखा दें। रेस्टोरेशन टाइम टू टाइम हुआ है। 1918 की जो रिपोर्ट थी आर्कियोलॉजिकल सर्वे ऑफ इंडिया की, जो DR साहनी जी ने बनाई थी, उसमें रिमूवल ऑफ वेजिटेशन, क्लियरेंस ऑफ डेब्री, रिपेयर ऑफ रूफ्स एंड कटिंग डाउन ऑफ ऑब्सक्योर ट्रीज थी। 1930 में देवगढ़ मैनेजिंग दिगंबर जैन कमेटी बनाई गई और उन्होंने रूफ का रिप्लेसमेंट किया, उसको मजबूत किया गया और कई मंदिरों को फिर से ठीक किया गया। Most of the images which lay scattered on the side were fixed to the wall and chaumukhas to the roof surmounting to it. The overturned pillars were righted once more. Of the old arrangement, nothing remains now. We come to the concluding phase. This brings to the conclusion of the pictorial journey of my understanding of some of the salient features of the Jain temple complex of Devgarh. The enormity of the available art pieces, the variety and the span, the creativity covers it epical and cannot be fathomed in a brief interaction like this. गागर में सागर भरने की बात है, अगर मैं 50 मिनट या 1 घंटे में देवगढ़ कॉम्प्लेक्स के बारे में बोलूं तो शायद मेरी क्षमता नहीं है इतनी, लेकिन अपनी तरफ से मैंने आपको पूरा बताने की कोशिश करी कि उस जगह की एक फीलिंग, एक अनुभूति हमें हो जाए कि वो है क्या। मेरे लिए भी इतनी बार जाकर हर बार मुझे नई चीजें दिखाई पड़ती हैं। Even a lifetime would perhaps be short, very short, to know the life and times of the people who lived there, who created this marvel. I am reminded of a statement in Kenopanishad, which has aptly summarized my little understanding. Naham manne suvedeti no na vedeti vedacha. Neither can I conclude that I know it, nor can I say I do not know it. This is my hal after visiting Devgarh, after sharing Devgarh with you. Neither can I conclude that I know it, nor can I say I do not know it. The successive visits have thrown up new challenges each time I visited. I spent the time in the vast campus or near the serene banks of river Betwa, which is down below. Many questions came to my mind while I was sitting there. Who were these artists? Who were their patrons? What were their lifestyles? What were their teachings and practices? What were acharyas teaching? What oceans of knowledge they dwelt within and thrived to achieve, what they wanted to achieve, what they achieved, and many, many more such intellectual questions which come to my mind, but I am helpless to understand. This leads me to ponder whether we can recover the lost legacies. Can we? Can we? Can we recreate what has been lost? The art, the values, and the spiritual heights and attainments that the society living in Devgarh or visiting Devgarh would have experienced. Can we all work together, at least have the area declared as the UNESCO World Heritage Site? It has all the prerequisite. I tell you, it has all the prerequisite. I have seen so many World Heritage Sites, but this has much more credit, much more price to it, surroundings, and is in excellent state of preservation. Hats off to Archaeological Survey and Digambar Jain Dharmshala, managing committee, who are taking care. Can we, under the aegis of prestigious BL Institute of Indology, organize a familiarization visit of the participants of the Prakrit course who join us every year, or can take up a specifically tailored visit for all those who would be interested to go there? I assure that the experience of stay in the pristine surroundings and in the humble Jain Dharmshala would be exotic. In the end, I express my gratitude to the esteemed members of the Academic Council of the BL Institute for giving me this opportunity to share my thoughts and understanding. I have drawn heavily on the guidance of Sir Professor G.C. Tripathi, respected Jitu Bhai and Dhanesh ji, from time to time, not only for this project, but also for many other studies I have undertaken in the past. I thank you, Dr. Dikshit sir, for having graced the session and chaired the talk at a very short notice. Each time I request you to come and attend my talk or chair the session, you so gladly do that. I'm really, really very grateful to you. Your presence has been a source of inspiration and confidence for me every time. I thank the India International Center, with which I have been associated for more than 2 decades, and where besides several talks and interactions, my 3 books have also been released. The place has been a second home to me. I also thank Archaeological Survey of India, and particularly the Lucknow and Lalitpur division, for providing all the kind assistance in this regard. The Digambar Jain Dharmshala at Devgarh and the local staff and caretakers at the temple complex for painfully taking me around every corner. I also express my gratitude to all of you, the learned audience who have come here, my dear friends who have come in this heat, in this weather, and in this evening when the time is to spend time with the family. Your gracious presence has been very, very encouraging for me. In the end, I conclude invoking the blessings of these auspicious footprints to guide me in the journey of life ahead always. Astoma Sadgame Tamsoma Jyotirgame. Om Swasti Astu. Thank you.
In fact, the lecture delivered by Dr. Neeru Mishra, it has really opened a plethora of subjects and the understanding about the temple architecture, say between 10th and 12th century AD. However, recently, for the last 1 year, I am also associated with one Mr. Nitin Sethi, who is also here, from the Digambar Jain Mahasabha. And along with him, I found one thing, that recently there is a lot of activities and the interest the people are taking to understand the antiquity of Jainism. Because up till now, there are only the theoretical background. Everywhere people is talking that it is of 1,000 years back, 2,000 years, and there are many diehards who are pushing to 5,000 and so. I am always telling all the rituals in the beginning were the same, whether it was the Harappa culture or anything. The question is when the differences came. So one has to work very hard on the rituals, Jain rituals, and only then one can understand that what is the antiquity from which. Otherwise, as far as the archaeological material is concerned or the sources are concerned, then we don't have anything before Lohanipur, that is of the Mauryan period, or the inscriptions of the Kushan periods and others. But there is a lull with the beginning of, rather to say, post-Kushana period and up to the post-Gupta period. There is not much Jain activities in the form of temple architecture or anything. So what we have seen the spurt which has immediately has taken place. It is only in the post-Gupta period, and then it is went on in Rajasthan, Gujarat, and everywhere. So, with this background, again I thank Dr. Neeru Mishra for this beautiful, illustrated, well-documented talk given by her. Sethi, who is going to present some material to the great scholar Neeru Mishra.
Please, मैं इनको key of knowledge with
He is Nirmal Kumar Sethi.
Bahubali.
बाहुबली का अभिषेक हो रहा है, तो ये मैंने दिए। अब मैं 2 मिनट बोलता हूँ।
Please.
एक आपको फ्रेंच इंस्टीट्यूट ने ये फिल्म बनाई है तमिलनाडु के सब जैन टेम्पल्स की, वो आपको। आप कितने विद्वान यहाँ बैठे हैं, तो मेरे मन में आया कि थोड़ी बात आपको बोल दूं। वो ये है कि अभी हम लोग यूथोपिया गए थे। यूथोपिया अफ्रीका में है। यूथोपिया के अंदर में दीक्षित साहब भी गए थे, और हमारे साथ में वसंत सिंधे, वाइस चांसलर डेक्कन यूनिवर्सिटी, वो भी गए थे, और डीपी तिवारी जो हमारे हेड ऑफ डिपार्टमेंट है लखनऊ यूनिवर्सिटी, वो भी गए थे हमारे साथ में। तो वहां पर हमने ये सिद्ध शिला पाई है 3 मंदिरों में सिद्ध शिला पाई है। और सिद्ध शिला में जो इंस्क्रिप्शन लिखा है वो डॉक्टर वशिष्ठ हैं, जो हेड ऑफ डिपार्टमेंट दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी के रिटायर्ड हुए हैं। उन्होंने इसको कहा है कि ये सिद्ध शिला में जो इंस्क्रिप्शन है वो 1000 BC के हैं, 1000 BC एंड 1300 BC के हैं। ये उनका जजमेंट है। मेरे कहने का मतलब है कि प्राचीन काल में यूथोपिया में हमारी पुस्तकों में लिखा हुआ है कि अनगिनत दिगंबर निर्ग्रंथ साधु विहार करते थे और अहिंसा का प्रचार करते थे। वो बात प्रमाणित होती है कि 3 अलग अलग जगह पर, यहाँ में, अलमाका में और एक चर्च में, अलग अलग जगह पर ये सिद्ध शिला मिली है, खुदाई में मिली है, मगर जर्मन लोगों को मिलाई है। ये बहुत बड़ी बात है। और चौथी बात है कि एक जगह हमें टेम्पल मिला है, उसके बने वेदी मिली है और उसके स्टैंड मिले आपके कमल के। तो डॉक्टर सिंधे ने क्या कहा, मुझे एक दिन बाद में वहां से टेलीफोन मुझे करते यूथोपिया से, मिस्टर निर्मल जैन, जैसे जर्मन वालों ने एक्सकेवेशन का परमिशन लिया है, आप यूथोपिया के अंदर में ये 4th टेम्पल जो हमने देखा है इसका परमिशन ले लो, आई विल कम हियर एंड डू एक्सकेवेशन हियर। तो मैंने कहने का मतलब है कितनी बड़ी बात है, ये मैं आपको इतने विद्वान लोगों को बता रहा हूँ। और यदि किसी को ये फोटो लेनी हो तो मैं उसको देने के लिए तैयार हूँ। अभी हम लोग परसों कंबोडिया जा रहे हैं और उसके बाद में वियतनाम जा रहे हैं। हमने ये तय किया अपनी संस्था के द्वारा, वी विल विजिट 40 कंट्रीज ऑफ द वर्ल्ड वेयर देयर वाज जर्नीज इन द एंशिएंट पीरियड, एंड उसके अंदर में हमको जो चीजें मिलेगी वी विल टेल यू। जैसे मैं आपको बताऊं श्रीलंका के बारे में, अनुराग मानतुंगा आए, हमें बोले कि हम जिसको पेशाब की नली मानते थे वो यूरिनल मानते थे। तो बोले आपके जाने के बाद में, हम फरवरी 2017 में वहां गए, तो उन्होंने कहा कि आपने जो हमको एक्सप्लेन किया, और नवंबर में वो यहाँ आईजीएनसी में स्पीच दिया, तब हमको समझ आ गया पेशाब की नली नहीं है, यूरिनल नहीं है, वो तीर्थंकर का जो अभिषेक होता था वो पानी उधर से जाता था, उसको हम लोग अभी तक पेशाब की नली समझते थे, तो किसी ने बताया नहीं। इसी तरह से अलमाका का जो मंदिर है यूथोपिया में, वहां पर वेदी है, उस वेदी को जल जाता है और जल फिर नीचे गिरता है, फिर बाहर जाता है। वो दोनों जगह पर ऋषभ का चिन्ह है, नाली में ऋषभ का चिन्ह है। जर्मन लोगों को मैंने कहा, बर्लिन गया मैंने कहा ये तो हमारे जैन मंदिर होना चाहिए और ये चिन्ह है। नो, बोले यहाँ जानवर मारे जाते थे, उनका खून इस नली से जाता था, फिर ऐसे बाहर जाता था। तो हमारे डीपी तिवारी जो लखनऊ यूनिवर्सिटी में हेड ऑफ डिपार्टमेंट, वो गए वो जाके उसको देखा, वो बहुत गुस्सा में बोले हाउ इट इज पॉसिबल कि अगर वो लाल खून इधर से जाता तो लाल तो कुछ तो लाल दिखाई देता, ये तो आइवर की तरह चमकता है, और फिर बोले इतनी पतली सी नाली में खून नहीं जा सकता है। तो मेरे कहने का मतलब है कि हम ट्राई कर रहे हैं कि वर्ल्ड की जो चीजें हैं आप लोगों के सामने लाए। धन्यवाद।
There is a speaker, Dr. Neeru Mishra ji. This was really an eye-opener to many, especially to me. It was really a very informative, very captivating, and very scholarly talk on this Jain temple complex, this earliest Jain temple complex in North India. And you delved really very deep, unless you had delved very deeply into Jain mythology, Jain stories and Jain beliefs, you could not have explained these sculptures in this beautiful and extensive manner that you have done. So I congratulate you that you have acquired so much of mastery or so much of knowledge of Jain beliefs and Jain mythology and Jain thinking that you were able to explain these sculptures in a masterly manner. It was also quite interesting when these were perhaps the earliest Jain temples, because you are talking of this Jain complex from 8th, they started about from 8th to 12th century, out of that. And this is one of the earliest Jain complex, because Jain temples, they started coming, of course, a little later than the Vedic temples or Hindu temples. Even this, I think this Vasudeva temple in Devgarh is earlier than these Jain temples, because that belongs to Gupta period. Very interestingly, you pointed out that there is a lot of commonness between Hindu mythology, Hindu sculptures which were carved in those times, and a lot of similarity between Hinduistic sculptures and Jain sculptures are seen here. There is a sort of amalgamation between the two. In Chakreshwari, this Garuda image in Chakreshwari, then Balaram image and Saptaphana image of Parshvanath and all these things. And so there would be perhaps a very, it would be very interesting to do a comparative study between Hinduistic sculptures and Jain sculptures of those times. Of course, the sculptors or the artists were perhaps the same. They were the same. They were, I mean, a task was assigned to them that you carve this Neminath, or you carve Rishabdev, etc., or they were, the same artists were carving out Vishnu images, and the same artists were carving out also the Rishabnath images, etc. So the face cut, etc., everything is the same. This Ganga and Yamuna you find in Jain temples. That's very, very interesting. It is the depiction of Ganga and Yamuna, Ganga on the left side of the sanctum and Yamuna on the right side of the sanctum. It started in Gupta period and it goes on till today. And this is on the door gems of the Sanctum Sanctorum. This is Sanctum Sanctorum. Because they want to make it, Prayag was supposed to be the holiest spot on this earth, and they want to make the sanctum the holiest, as holy as Sangam, as our Sangam is. And Ganga and Yamuna are found not only in India, but they are found right up to Bali. They are all through Southeast Asia, this Ganga and Yamuna images. Though they don't have Ganga, they don't have Yamuna, but Ganga and Yamuna images are there. And how nice till before some time, unfortunately, this tortoise population in Jamuna has now dwindled, and I think they are almost extinct. But I know when I was child, how many tortoises, these turtles were there in Jamuna. It's very, very, there's a full of in Agra where we were living. I think when anybody entered into Yamuna to take bath, he had to be aware of these bites of the tortoises there. And this Ganga is standing on Makara. This Makara is not crocodile or alligator, this is dolphin. This is Gangetic dolphin. Gangetic dolphins are found only in Ganga. If you are in Allahabad or you are in Benares, you'll find these Gangetic dolphins. They are small, jumping out of the water and then again diving into the water. So Ganga is standing on dolphin, you just think about it, and this is also attested through the ritualistic texts. So unfortunately, Makar in Sanskrit is exact phonetic variant of Makar in Hindi is Magar. So we think that Makar is crocodile, but Makar is dolphin, and crocodile is Nakra, and there are other words for that.
Let me ask one question to you.
I thank you very much. It was really an eye-opener to all of us, and you have you became also very emotional, I think, towards the end of your lecture, because it has cast a great impact perhaps on your psyche also, this visit to these temples. And anybody who visits these temples there perhaps would have the same feeling, but we could feel it, along with you, this almost the same feeling that you might have felt when you were there. So that is you transmitted, this is what you call you had the rasa, we had the rasa bhas at least, as they call it inside. It was really very nice, and your suggestion that we should visit this place once, at least with our Prakriti students, is welcome, and we would ask our managements to think over it. At least it's a good suggestion. Yeah, what more should I say? I'm really beholden to you, and also to you, sir. We requested him only yesterday, Mr. K. Dikshit, we want you to chair the session, and we want you as the chairperson of the lecture of Dr. Niru Mishra, because everybody wants it, and Niru Mishra ji herself wants it, and I want it, and you have not visited us for a long time to our institute and none of our lectures, so you must come. And he immediately accepted. So you see, you would find such simple persons these days. In order to make yourself important, sometimes even if you don't have anything to do on that day, you say, oh no, I am so busy, I am just thinking about that, I have to go there. So you know how the... So thank you very much for your simplicity and that you obliged us. I am obliged to both of you, Nirudi and Dikshit ji, both of you. Thank you very much. It was a wonderful session, a wonderful lecture, and we go back home laden with a lot of knowledge, lot of thoughts, and lot of questions also, and a lot of inspiration also to work on these temples and to work on a comparative study perhaps of this iconography and a comparative study of the Hinduistic art and Jain art, this Ambika, etc. Ambika is Hariti of Buddhism, and Ambika is mentioned in Yajurveda, Ambike, Ambalike, Namanayati, Kashana, etc. This mother goddess with a child in her lap. This worship of mother goddess with a child in lap is really very, very old. In fact, the worship of God as Badar is much older than the worship of God as Father. This is proved. And if anybody wants, I can give a lecture on it next time. Thank you very much.
Can I ask 30 kilometers from this place Devgarh, and a number of giant statues have been unearthed from those that have been excavated. Now they have built up a museum there. About 500 statues which are mutilated have been put up in a museum, and there is a Kaiosar statue of Aranath, and two more which have been taken out of the earth and are.
I go very often.
Yes. You have to go from Tikamgarh, not from Nalachpur. From Tikamgarh, there is a passage, right, for 20 kilometers from Tikamgarh. I personally noticed, I visited both the places a number of times. I recently went there about 3 months ago. They have got a See, I tell you, there is a similarity in the posture of